Saturday for us, working third downs. It was one of the keys, I thought, to last year's success, especially when you're playing a Stanford team that can hold on to the ball and take possessions away. You know, you're going to average someplace in the 60 to 75 play range when you play Stanford, and every possession is going to count. So you're going to look at that third downs at the end of the game and go, it was either really good and we had great success in the game, or if it's poor, all of a sudden the play number count goes down, the opportunities go down, and the points go down. So a lot of work went into that today. As far as from a health standpoint, about the same as yesterday. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Is there any concern?
Isaiah Pulamal was just sick today. Greg had it yesterday. There's a little virus going around. He'll be back tomorrow. You saw Greg back, about 24-hour bug that's been going around. Peely, as you saw, he came out a little bit in the game on Saturday with just a wrist injury, and we've got him casted up to try to secure that a little bit. And you know, he did a couple things today, but we're trying to take a little bit of that pressure off, and should be ready for the game. Hopefully, we'll see how the pain is in the next 2 days. But he worked yesterday in a cast. We wanted to take a little bit off him today. Hopefully, he's ready for Saturday. Toa looks great. I thought today he got good functional work again in the 2-minute drill. It was good to get that live action with a nose right on top of him and be able to get that work. Came out with no pain from yesterday's practice, so he's looking good to go right now.
Do you have any update with Bubba Bolden at all?
No, still status quo.
Wait, with the new redshirt rule, are you allowed to travel more players this week?
No, we're at 70 players per conference. I know some conferences are making that change. I don't think the Pac-12 has made that yet. I think the Big Ten went up to 74, I believe. You know, we're at 70 right now for conference games, and then non-conference you can take more, but in a conference game it's only 70.
With the focus on the knee coverage rule, does that even make you think twice about practicing in shorts?
I tell you, it's something that the kids are getting used to, and obviously every Tuesday is a full pad practice for us. We come off Wednesday just a little bit lighter in shorts, try to keep them from getting too heavy-legged, and I can't keep them off the ground anyways. Dang EA, it was good to have EA back. He laid some thuds today. He quite doesn't know what thud is. Thud means still tackle, but it's good to get a little bit of leg weariness off of them. It's been a good camp and a good physical first game, and we got a physical game coming up, but they're getting used to the knee pads.
Is there any possibility that Achille Ross could come back this season?
He is right now. His status is still the same. He's not on our active roster.
How important are defensive tackles in the game against Stanford, and how much confidence do you have in that pretty young group?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
How important are the defensive tackles in the game against Stanford?
Huge. I mean, you're talking about when you look at their offensive line, they're an athletic line, but they're also anywhere from 300 to 320. They're big men, and it's one of the reasons, as you saw us in the recruiting the last 2 years, you think of a J2 Felly at 315, you think of a Brandon Peely at 330. The importance of developing some guys. You see Liam Jimmins now is a 300-pound man. So those interior guys are very, very important for us to, one, get big, be able to hold the point, and then those guys, I tell you, I commend them. They've stayed extremely athletic, and that's going to be important when you're talking gap integrity as for Stanford.
Coach, what improvements have you seen from KJ Costello from the 2 games last year to what you saw last week?
I think the biggest thing that he's doing, he's really identifying where the one-on-one matchup is, and he's giving his kids chances to make plays. You don't see a lot of overthrown balls. They're mostly 50-50 jump balls, which, you know, when you're talking about the big targets that they have, it's really advantageous for them, to be honest with you. So, one, him diagnosing the defense, you can see him a lot more comfortable, and just his deep ball accuracy has been really good.
Clay, when you think about the Stanford rivalry, I think all rivalries kind of have their own flavor. And what jumps out to you about this one?
Yeah, I tell you what, in my 9 years here, it's just increased, it seems, each and every year, and it has always been a close game. It's been some of my favorite memories and some of my favorite heartbreaks. I've been a part of a triple overtime loss. I've seen Andre Haderi kick a 53-yarder to win one. I've seen Andrew Luck drive down in a 2-minute and kick a winning field goal with no time on the clock at their place. It just always seems like an extremely physical contest, a physical battle. Both teams take a lot of pride into this game, and you knew last year, it just felt it when we walked off the field last year in that first game and playing them. It just felt like, okay, we're going to see this team again, and we did. Because they're a very well-coached team, and obviously one of the best teams in the North year in and year out.
And because it's so early in the year every year right now, it's kind of like a barometer game.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I think it's an important game for both teams because, one, it's a Pac-12 conference game, and so early. And if you remember last year, it took 8-1 in conference to win the South last year. So you can't look up and have many losses or to cut you. I know the year before we went 7-2 in conference, and it got us. We were left out by a game, and we had that. You want to make sure that every time you play a Pac-12 opponent, you bring your A game, and you better bring your A game for Stanford, or you get your butt beat.
What do you think next year? The first Stanford game, probably the best game of the year. What all together to make that happen?
I think a lot of things, Dan. That I go back. I talked to the guys. Probably the most important thing that we relayed to the guys is we went back and looked at our first down efficiency. About being able to make it second and long, being able to not let them into a 3rd and 1-3 game, I thought was critical. We played clean football. You didn't see a lot of turnovers in those games. We finished drives, which is going to be critical in a game like this. And then offensively, you go back and look at that first game. Look at the amount of third downs we made, and look at the amount of 3rd and 1-5s we had in that game. I wanted to go back and say like 7 of the first 8 third downs were in that 3rd and 1-5 range. So to me, it's about playing clean football and really how good are you on normal down and distances, because third downs versus both teams are hard. These are 2 of the best third down defenses there are out there.
How do you think that happened so quickly in the year? That you guys were so ready to play?
I thought like this year. Hopefully, it's the same way. I thought we had a good camp. I thought we had last year we had obviously a quarterback that was really settled into the position and played a really good game. That game, we ran the ball extremely well. You look at both. Don't hold me to this, but I think we led in rushing in both games. I think that came out that way as far as game 1 and the Pac-12 championship game, if I recall. And usually the leader of the rushing game in this game usually wins the game. Good. All righty. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.